What's going on? What's going on, people? How you doing? We are
Hello.
finally back. Did you miss us?
What's
We're
up?
finally back, man. We're finally back on this thing. Um, let me see here. Make sure I turn the sound down. We're
Anything
good.
going on? Yes. I'm gonna
All
turn
right,
my
so let's see here. All right, cool. All right, so thank y'all for joining us today. We do appreciate y'all giving us your time. Yeah, it's been a minute since we've been on here, but we back. If you are in here, make sure you chime in, say what's up, so we'll know who's out here in these streets with us at the same time.
yeah.
But while you here, make sure you share it to all the pages, the groups. You know how they don't like it when you do that? Go ahead and share it to all the pages and the groups. Let them know to come on the live. We should be going live right now, not only on YouTube, but also on Facebook as well. So if you see us, say what's up, come in. I got my wife here. She's stalling a bit. We got our special guests. They will be on shortly. We just getting them set up in the meantime. But Dre, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm tired. Don't I look it?
No, you look amazing. You look amazing.
I'm
Something
tired.
something about your eyes is mesmerizing.
They look very tired. See the bags?
Yeah. But anywho, man, how you feel about the special guest tonight?
That's my fam bam. I love them. I
Yeah,
love
definitely. Out
everything
of
about them.
curiosity, out of curiosity, what's your like? I guess what drawed you to the to STL? Out of curiosity,
I always say music. They music move me. The music
yeah.
move.
Is
Yeah,
there
because
any specific
that's
is there any specific fondant memory that you had that kind of brought to your attention, like something they did, something they said, or something like that? What brought you? Was it their party first, and then it was their dance, or what would you say for you?
oh, we had. I think it was them first because we didn't go to the party till after the fact.
Right,
But the dances
right.
that was theirs, and then we did kind of like spoke to me. Always, they dances always speak to me. Like,
Got
but
you, got you. Okay, cool. That's what's up. Um, yeah, I think for me personally, when we were just sitting back watching a lot of the groups out here at the same time, we pretty much was just looking to see who we kind of identified with, who kind of caught our vibes. But more so, we was just going by the music, what we was able to find at the same time, and then from there, you know, we was
yep.
doing our thing, and then we saw them, and it was like they was on that same wavelength we was on. So shout
Always.
out to Freddie, how you doing, Miss? Shout out to Freddie. We appreciate you chiming in, coming in. If anything, if you haven't already, make sure y'all like, subscribe, follow, all that crazy stuff. Share on your page. Let people know we on live. We are on for Facebook right now as well too. So if you are on Facebook, make sure you share. But
I think Teresa's.
yep. So what we're gonna do right now, we try to get all of them, but you got to get what you can. So
So we thank
um,
whoever can come through.
yeah, we do appreciate it because it was like a last minute deal, like literally like yesterday. Like, hey, you guys available? Yes, we down. So that's what's up. We appreciate it. But I ain't gonna take too much time. I'm gonna go ahead and see. I got Teresa on right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring her in, and then we should have Chris come on shortly as well too, and we'll bring her in as well. So, without further ado, we got Miss Teresa. What's going on? How you doing, Miss Lady?
That's my, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
All right, so let's test your mic because we didn't get a chance to test your mic. Can you hear us clearly? All right. So you can hear us. That's great. Can't we can't hear you. So check your mic to make sure your mic good. If anything, we're gonna test your mic. Not right now. No. Mm-mm.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, you sound
Do I sound clear?
you sound clear. Yeah.
Awesome.
How you doing, Teresa? What's going on?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I got excited, but I do virtual trainings for a living, so my mind is thinking professional, and I'm trying my hardest not to because I do this virtual stuff for a living. But
Well,
hi
you
Hey,
know
girl.
would have probably prepped you if you really got a few drinks before you got on. That would have got you right.
y'all. Yes, I'm not in my normal my OMG mode, so you'll probably get the best of me today. So how you
Okay
guys
then,
doing?
cool. Okay then, well, cool. While we still wait, how you been doing? How's everything been going so far?
Everything's good. We just came off of our 15th annual celebration
Anniversary.
for Flava, and I'm still pretty high. Actually, it's a month today, and I actually was trying to get some images that I never got to share out. I never go to the party, so I somehow I just found pictures on my phone.
You never go to the party, but you found pictures on your phone.
Yeah, yeah. Does that mean
Okay.
anything to you? Hmm.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. I'm just as clueless as you how that happened.
Well, there's a lot of things that go on at that event that always wow me, and there's these drinks that are passed around. So I never,
Mm,
att- you know,
mm, mm.
yeah, I
How do
never.
they how do they get past you is the question I'm trying to get a little bit more clarity
I
on.
don't understand. I purposely not go. I just don't go. I just
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Teresa. There's a therapist available. They can deal with both individuals we're dealing with right now at the same time.
definitely, definitely. I'll tell you that when I am there, I am truly the OMG girl, and that OMG girl comes out in ways that brings joy and laughter, and is just like, wow, I don't realize it's me, if that makes any sense. So that's why I say I never go. I see videos, I hear things that I've done.
Hmm.
That's a place where I think not only myself, but many people just come and let their hair down and just enjoy what's happening in the moment.
Okay.
It's,
Well,
it's almost like an
we
out
gonna
of
get in
body experience.
we gonna get into all of that because we got some questions pertaining to that. But before we
Awesome.
do so, let's go ahead and bring an amazing other partner, Chris, in the building.
And
Hey,
crying,
Chris.
crying.
My sissy.
Hey, honey. Hey, everybody.
Hey, your mic work. Yay.
It works. Oh my gosh. I have had trouble doing this before. So,
It's all
okay.
good. I've seen worse, so you guys are great right now. How you doing, Chris?
I'm good. I'm good. Back at work. So,
I'm glad you made
the
it
new
back safe.
school year is starting up again. So,
Yeah, I'm glad you made it to the house safely. Cause I was like, Chris, what time you gonna be there? She said, I'll be there at such and such time. I said, please do not speed. Do
I
not
was
do the
flying, flying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. But cool. But hey, so check this out. We want to get straight to it. People, there's a lot, as you know already. The reason why we do this whole podcast and everything else, is that we noticed that in the community this year, there's been a wave of new people coming into our community, um, and they're being exposed to soul line dance or whatever the case, but they don't know what's going on. They're not familiar with the community. We try to tell, and most people in their class try to tell more about it, but for the most part, they're still learning. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to take this opportunity and platform to introduce, the amazing, influential people that's in our community, that's been in it for a while, to show them, or even tell them basically their side and their perspective of how the community has changed and affected them, and stuff they learned, stuff they was able to navigate through at the same time. And I have a list. I ain't gonna lie to you. I dragged it on a little bit on who I wanted to bring on. I have a list of who I want to speak to, and it's people that I really want to get to know more or get better, know better, if anything else. I know Chris and I, we had our time to have a lot of conversations at the same time too. And I think everything about you is very fascinating. And then just the energy for Teresa y'all whole crew is just crazy. Y'all just unbelievable all together. And so I'm just curious right offhand, how did y'all find each other? Like, how did that even come together as STL Flava? Because I know you told me the story as far as y'all name, but how'd y'all come together? And y'all can elaborate on that. But how did y'all come together as individuals, superheroes?
Well, I'll probably start and say we all met through dance. We didn't really know each other. I had been dancing by myself. I had recently moved to St. Louis and was dancing by myself. And I would go to the same place every week and see everybody. Then I also traveled with work, and I met a lady through Big Moochie who is like a cousin to me. No one knows that, but he's like a cousin to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I met a lady in Columbus, Ohio. Her name is Monica Coleman, and she introduced me to dances that I had never seen, had never heard, and she gave me a CD. I came back to St. Louis with that CD, and I swear to you guys, I wanted to let everybody hear this music that we had never heard in St. Louis before. And it was mostly, East Coast music where it was just, we were used to dancing, line dancing to mostly like things like Big Moochie type dances where it told you what to do or, dances like that. And there were a lot of homegrown dances at the time too, St. Louis had, that were not a part of, a instructional type line dance song.
Mm-hmm.
And I never forget, I was also going to the gym at the time. And I saw Chris at the gym. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the girl who be line dancing. I was like all excited. I run over to him like, you go to line dancing. I know you from line dancing. And she's like, oh, next week or so we started to see each other. And, I had already been traveling and meeting people and, in different areas. Chicago was a territory where I worked. So I kind of got connected with a lot of the line dancers who really no longer line dance anymore in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And that's where I met John Woodhouse for the first time.
Oh, wow.
And he had just introduced a dance called OMG. Mm-hmm. And I'm the OMG girl. So, I was excited about it. I learned it. That's when Skype was out. Like Skype. Y'all remember that?
Wow. He said no.
Never heard of it.
Oh, you never heard of Skype?
He heard.
What is that? Is that a
like a virtual, like what we're doing right now? But it was like
I'm just playing. You good?
Well, anyway, so one of the ladies who started the Universal Line Dance page, she's the one who taught it to me. And I didn't know John. John didn't know me. Mm-hmm. And I remember coming back to St. Louis, and I was like, y'all, not only do I have the CD, but I have a dance. Mm. And I would teach people in my basement, random people, this dance. Like, come over. I want to teach you a dance you've never seen. And it was a lot of steps. And we all did it. Chris and I and another lady, her name is Yemisi, came to my house learning dances. And there was a gentleman named James. He came to my house. And then there was a lady named Denise, came to my house. I'm trying to tell you how Flava started. And Keisha. And that was Flava.
Wow.
And so once we all connected, we really weren't Flava at the time. We just were enjoying each other.
Okay.
And I'm trying to kind of give Chris a chance to say, but we were at, I really wanted to take St. Louis out of town because I had been out of town already.
Okay.
And I'm skipping United We Dance, Chris. I'll let you share that story. But I'm going straight to Louisville Sliders. Is the group that I took, about 15 people. I rented 2 vans. I didn't know any of these people. The only thing I knew is we all loved the line dance, and I asked them if they want to go to Louisville with me to show off OMG.
Okay.
And other local dances, and that's the group that Jerome Bentley is in, and Monica Bizzle. And so she said, "You gonna bring 15 people to this party?" I'm like, "Girl, yeah, I'm coming. We coming strong." And we sure did. We weren't a group. We weren't a group. We came as a group that everybody had in St. Louis Slideshow. You guys probably are familiar with Slideshow. And once we kind of connected that way, we caught a bug and wanted to go more. And I'll let this explain how we kind of connected as a Flava team.
Okay.
So, before we went to Louisville, there was United We Dance.
Okay.
And what I would do to have everybody experience United We Dance, sidebar. But that was a huge, most people know about it, but it was a huge line dance event, a way for line dancers across the country to connect. And we went, and I remember Teresa coming, because at that point, we didn't all go to, the first time we went, we didn't all go together. Like St. Louis line dancers, some of us went separately. We had a bus of us, and then some of us went separately. And you didn't come with us on that bus.
No, but my reasons that I didn't go to that bus. Yes.
Right. But she came, and when you were there, she's like, "These are all the people I've been telling you about." Ali, you just all those. Who was it? Cole, and Lewis, and just all these
the Thomas twins.
The Thomas twins. And speaking of, remind me to tell you about that. So, we go, and I have to tell you this part. We walk into United We Dance, 1,500 people, everybody's just dancing. I had never seen anything like this before, and I danced all my life. Okay. But I was traditional dance, ballet, tap, jazz, point, all that kind of stuff. This was grown folks dancing and doing it because you wanted to, and staying up all night. The party ended at 2. After party started at 2:01. We were up till 8 in the morning, and then the workshop, all that. So when we got there, we walked in, and a workshop was going on. It was Lewis. So we get on the floor, and we start dancing. This was Yemisi and me. We start dancing. She and I were roommates, and we started dancing. And I couldn't catch it. Whatever he was teaching, I could not catch it. Now, I'm coming from a dance background. It was very...
Yes.
I can't catch... Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. So we started over. He's teaching, and he's going, come on, he's going. And I still can't get it. I said, it's the shoes. I bought new tennis shoes. It's the shoes. Let me take these shoes off because it's throwing me off. I can't, let me just get. And I get back on the floor, and I still can't get it. Long story short, I realized I'm overwhelmed.
Really?
I am overwhelmed by the energy, the amount of people, the excitement, because these people wanted to be here. This wasn't a force. They wanted to be here. And I'm in this going, what is this? So that night comes, you got 2 dance floors, and they were doing shots. Shots. They're doing shots. And it was like 2 versions of shots. And I mean, they were going, and this group would stop, and the next, it was just a big party. It's like 2 in the morning, and all this is going on. And when it was over, everybody came across the floor and hugged and clapped, and just that united we dance kind of thing.
Right.
Chris White was standing in a chair recording. That's all I could do. I didn't know anything. I didn't know any dances except the wobble and our homegrown dances, which we knew very well, and we were happy about our homegrown dances, and we respected those. But this was a national thing, and we didn't know anything. And so when the wobble came on, we just wobble.
Dang.
And that was the only thing we knew. And I said, we as in St. Louis, we got to somehow connect with whatever this is everybody is doing.
Right.
And so, long story short, that was the mission of STL Flava, to connect with everybody, not leave our homegrown dances out, connect our homegrown dances. I hadn't created a dance.
Right.
This was about connecting us with them and them with us. So when we all got together, we could all, dance together.
Mm.
And so the opportunity came about where we could do that, or start a group where we would push that mission to connect.
Gotcha.
And here we are. you
Interesting.
know, yeah.
Interesting. So, and I remember, and I want you to elaborate also on how y'all end up getting your name. But I'm also curious: is did y'all have another name before y'all came up with STL Flavor? Did y'all play around with another name or
Mm-mm.
anything like
So
that?
Teresa actually was she was expecting her baby. She was pregnant. You remember that theory? So we were at that Louisville event that she said. So we went to United We Dance, and that was in June, I believe. And a couple months later, October, in fact, we went to that Louisville event, and we did not have a name.
Mm,
We were, many of us were a part of Slideshow,
okay,
and Slideshow is Stephanie Crusoe.
gotcha.
Um, and hey, Stephanie. So I know we were a part of Slideshow, and we wound up splitting, but it wasn't
Yeah.
it was because Stephanie wanted a family friendly atmosphere. She wanted to come out of the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And understandably so, especially now we see people do it in different places, this line
Right.
dancing thing. And she really wanted to be more in a place where you could bring your family, bring your kids, if you needed to do that. And
Right.
we were still pushing that clientele that wanted to be away from their kids and in a club and take a break and that kind of
Right.
thing, and have their own time. So when we did become Flavor, we would put on the bottom of all of our flyers for a family friendly atmosphere. Visit our sister club, sister dance line, Slideshow.
Mm-hmm.
So um, so we were never another name. We were a part of Slideshow.
Mm-hmm.
And the way Stephanie even runs Slideshow today, if you attend Slideshow's class, you are Slideshow. That's
Mm.
the way she has it. Once you come, you are part of that family.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so after that, we wound up going to that Louisville event. While we were there that night, we were all on the parking lot creating uh, STL stroll. It's a stroll.
Mm. Yeah.
Do
Yeah. Yeah.
it, do it, do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were just out in the parking lot messing around doing that. People were coming up with stuff, and I said, "Wait a minute, I'll put it together." And then I went home later on and created some more of it, that kind of thing. But we were out there and had that music going, and Teresa was up in the room looking at us because she was tired, trying to get her rest. 4 in the morning, and um, Curtis Good came outside. And
Mm.
he's like, "What's going on out here?" And Linda Schuler came outside. And everybody's outside. "What are you all doing? What are you doing?" And we're just going and doing our own St. Louis foolery we do. And he said, "Y'all got that St. Louis flavor. You really got that St. Louis flavor.
Mm.
STL Flavor." And there it
Exactly.
is.
Oh
That's how
wow.
we got our name.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Well,
Yep.
before I ask the next question, Dre got to she's gonna be in the background, but she got to pull out, but she'll still be around. So I want to make sure. All
Love
right.
you.
Okay. So, um, wow. So that's how y'all name came about, and I definitely understand the situation. You say y'all eventually had different visions, and so y'all had a different vision to kind of be more out and about and get everybody connected through the national aspect of things too. Especially being that all y'all knew was the wobble when y'all went out of town, which is crazy. Uh, but
And let me say this too. There were a couple of dances that people made in St. Louis, and this is, I can't speak for everybody else, and I know Teresa probably knew it more than I did because she was in the line dancing piece longer than all of us. Um, like I said, my dancing was a different genre of dancing.
gotcha.
So, but we got there, and they would play certain songs, and we would go out on the floor to dance, and it wouldn't be
Dang.
that dance
Right.
because
Right.
we didn't even get that was our dance that we do at home, and
Uh,
everybody else does this. It was
Ah,
very much a learning experience for
yo,
all,
yo, speak
you
on it,
know.
because we've all, I believe, I don't even gonna say we all, but I experienced something like that too. You know what I mean? What you learn at home, but when you go out of town, you're like, oh no, we don't even do it like this, or you started on the wrong foot, or you
Yeah,
started at the wrong time, and everything. It's definitely a slap in the face in some kind of way. You're like, oh, let me sit back. Cause you be running to the front, cause you know that's my dance. And you
yeah,
find out that ain't your dance, so you got to
yeah.
run to the back. So
And
I,
it was our first time. That was our first going through that, and we kind of got. We were standing there like, should we do it or should we not? And we
right,
decided, you know, this is our stuff from St. Louis. Like this is our people's stuff. So
right,
we got on the floor, we got in a different spot, and it was our first time doing like, you have a separate 2 or 3 dances on the
yeah,
floor
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing with the floor.
Okay.
But we did it because we were proud of the dances coming out of St. Louis. We were proud of that.
So
So
y'all splitting floors back then too. That's what y'all doing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sure did. We sure did. And the people who made up the dances, they were there and they did it, and we put them in front, and we
It
did
is
it.
what it
Yeah,
was, right?
yeah.
So where they because I know we don't have Jeremy here and Candace and everything. Like when did they come in? Did they come to Teresa's class too at the house
Let-
class?
I would like to explain a little bit more how the Flavor crew originally kind of
Okay.
connected because of the mission that we wanted to do again. Remember that CD was the main source of learning. And
Mhm.
so I would have, host things in my house to learn this stuff off of the CD. And so we would share, pieces of it and learn it. And, I didn't at the time, quote unquote, know how to teach, but I
Mm,
taught it.
okay.
You get what I mean? I didn't know that wasn't my thing, and it just wasn't. But I really wanted us to learn these dances,
Mhm.
and so then I found a way to learn. Not only how to learn these dances, but I started to find out about different events in different cities because I was a traveler for my job, and I would go to every city and ask where was line dancing.
Mm,
And so that's how I was meeting people and learning all these people. And they was giving me which dances to learn, which dances to do, and I would try my hardest to bring it back. But nobody wanted to do it. So I would
mm.
try to get the song played off of my CD at the club. Nobody, they didn't want to do it. They just
Mm.
didn't want to do it.
Wow.
And so when the decision was made to separate, I happened to be out of town. And I asked a group of people, I said, hey, if you're interested in moving forward with learning a little more intermediate dances and travel, call this number.
Mm.
I gave people a phone number to
Okay.
call.
Okay.
That day, at the time of the call, was Chris White, Yemisi, I never say her last name right, Valerian, uh,
Mhm.
Keisha Crowder, James Wolfe, and me. It was six
Denise.
of us, and
Denise.
Denise Casey. It
Mm.
was just us six.
Those were the 6 who answered
The
to the
call.
call.
Okay.
Six that answered the call. And so that day we said, without a name, to that we would travel. And
Hmm.
so we traveled, I think, one more time without a title or a group. I can't really remember because I was pregnant.
Mhm.
And so what we decided as a group is we were not going to have like a president or a vice president or a secretary or all these things. And what we also said is this is it. We're not adding anybody else. We're not doing anything else. We will never have these officers. We will never have none of this. We're just going to do this for fun, and that's it. And so then opportunities start coming when we really learned that Chris was not only a dancer but a creator.
Mm.
And when we learned that about her, it started to say, wow. Well, I'm like, well, let's push us to have classes because she's a teacher.
Mm.
And I'll be the hype girl to get everybody here
Mm.
and do all these things. And Chris had a young child at the time, so myself would have to start classes teaching baby dances or something till they came. you know,
Okay.
you know. And then we had our first party, and Jeremy was there. What? Let me rewind, because Candace and Chelsea joined before Jeremy.
And may I say something real quick? Before we even became Flava, we were the color of the bandana. So we didn't even have a name. We would just say, come to class. We don't have a name, but find somebody with an orange bandana. They'll help you.
Okay.
That's who we were, like the colored people. I don't know the color of the bandana. But we did. We would call each other and say, what's the color this week? Blue. Okay. And we would wear
You
bandanas.
gotta be kidding me.
Well, Chris would have to buy them because I had a little baby. I couldn't get to the store.
Yep.
Go ahead and get the bandanas so I could get it and I'll have it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, cool. We had bandanas.
Do y'all still wear bandanas today?
Oh, no.
Just curious.
Because we were ecstatic on our first teaching gig to have T-shirts and jackets. Oh, I will never forget that. Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
Flint, Michigan. And so I was kind of booking us. Not really booking us, but more so finding us places to go. I would make it affordable for us to travel, and I would tell them, hey, we're going to be gone every month. If this is what y'all want to do, we got to get out. And then Chris Dances was, really starting to pretty much elevate across the country. And I'm like, we got to push this. We got to see it. And so I would say, we're going here. And I would do a calendar, and I would make us sit down for the year and say, hey, this is where we're going. This is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And so I did all of those things to help put us in front. Mm-hmm. But also, we were having fun together. We were learning each other. I tell them God put us together. Who knew I would need these people? Mm-hmm. These crazy people. My family was like, you traveling with people you don't know. Mm-hmm. We were gone every month. Literally every month.
What were you going to say about Candace and Chelsea?
Yeah, Candace and Chelsea joined right before our event, the first event, which was a luau. Mm-hmm. The luau brought our first event was just as hype as it is right now, to the point where we thought we better do it again.
Okay.
And it brought people from all over. And like, again, we had been traveling our tails off, though. I used to make these posters that would say, we visited you. And it would show like the highways we would drive on, where we were. I mean, there's pictures of it. Every year I would show how many miles we drove to support other parties and do other things. And it was almost amazing when people would come celebrate with us. And then that's kind of how the invention of the T-shirts got on the wall, because Teresa is cheap. I don't want to spend money on just decor. And so every year we change in this party. It doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. People don't come to a line dance event. That's what I thought at that time, to see decor. We want music. We got to have the best DJs. We got to have this. And at the time, we had the United We Dance DJ. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Okay.
Unbelievable. We had Linda's husband. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. The name. I lost it. Dollar Bill. I'm like, how did I lose that? We had Dollar Bill. And Dollar Bill was our DJ from our first party to around our 5th or 6th. Maybe the 5th. Maybe between the 4th and the 5th party. And then we got John.
So we had Chocolate Shake too.
Yeah, Chocolate Shake did do one. That's right.
So y'all didn't. I'm just curious. When did 8 Mile come in?
Oh, he's been in since day one.
Yeah, he never. So 8 Mile never DJ'd the party.
Really?
He's always been more. He's been our mixer, mixer, and so, and that was more of a. I mean, he had a relationship with all of us, but with me creating the dances and him knowing how to cut the music and splice it up and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
That's what he does for us, but that's me and him
Gotcha.
doing that even to this day. So he's
Gotcha.
always been behind the scenes because he's kind of that kind of a person.
Yeah.
But his real strength is mixing that music. And
Okay. And for those who don't know, DJ 8 Mile, he plays a huge part in a lot of the music that they have danced to, as far as with the mixes, or like she says, splicing up the tracks. If anything else, she got a lot of her playlists with him, if anything else, and then you can hear it with a lot of other songs that's out there as well too. So that's why I asked about DJ 8 Mile, because I know the connection. I've learned of the connection y'all two have, and I was just thinking that he probably was in the beginning of the scenes of y'all parties and everything else, and then next thing you know, he kind of retired, if
I
anything.
know, yeah, but he's always still done our music. Whatever it is that I would need. Sometimes I know he was ready to throw me in the trash can because I would come with crazy and stuff. But I see a vision,
Mhm.
and if the music is not gonna support it, I'm not gonna do it. And
Right,
sometimes it would be 3, 4 songs he would put together,
right.
and he was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I
Wow,
was like, "No,
wow.
I'm not. Hey, if you
So
can't do it, let me know.
wow.
You
So
do it."
let me ask this question, because as y'all was talking, I remember you mentioned that it was six of you guys, and then Jeremy. So how did Jeremy end up coming in? If you was like, we sticking to six, we ain't adding, we ain't doing nothing. How did he even get recruited?
Jeremy will kill me if I say this out loud, but I am going to say it. He attended our luau party. He was a really close friend of one of the members in our group named James. They were good friends. And he acted a plum fool at that first party. I mean, a plum fool. And I was addicted to that. I was like, this dude is out of control. Who is
Wow, wow.
he? And he could dance his ass off, and
Mhm,
he learned fast, and he just, you can tell he was a creative person just from that night.
mhm,
And then he started coming around a lot more, and he was kind of like following us in a sense, and he
mhm,
wanted to be a part of what we were doing.
mhm.
And I didn't want to add anybody else because we had who we had,
Right.
and honestly, we can't fit another person in the car. Okay. And I'm like, and we're not spending no more money because I'm cheap. And
Right.
Flavor knows these things, so they know how we were really hustling to continue to travel as much as we did. I mean, literally, we were out every month.
Right.
And I knew adding another person would compromise a vehicle in another room and all these things. So we would have to like say, I want to go. Like we only could have 4 or 5 people to go on a trip
Mm-hmm.
because it would cost more money.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So that's why I was like, no, no, no. But it was something about Jeremy that his energy when he was around us was very uplifting. He's positive. We're his little pancakes.
That's what he comes.
Pancakes. He takes great care of us. And he's just a very, very gentleman
Mhm.
person. And he, you know, will bring joy to anybody he's around. And I think
Right.
that's kind of not only did we gravitate to that, but we gravitated to his creativity as well because we learned he also was just as creative as Chris. And so I'll never forget, I was in California and
Mhm.
my brother had just bought some machine to do vinyl. And I made us some Flavor polo shirts.
Mhm.
And I asked the team, and we did vote on it. We did. We all talked. And I said, can I make Jeremy one? If you would have seen when Jeremy came to an event with us, when he got that shirt, I will never forget.
Which was our way of saying we want you to be a part of Flavor.
Yeah. I can only imagine what he did.
No, he took his whole shirt off that he had. He saw everything.
He said,
He took his shirt off and was like, it was And we all hugged and cried and hugged and was happy. I think he even did a flip or something. He was just happy. But then once he got in, it was us.
It sealed it.
At one point, there were 9 of us. That was Candace
Uh-huh.
and Chelsea and Jeremy. Those were the 3, the 6 plus 3.
Okay.
And we always say that once you're Flavor,
Always
Yeah.
we're all Flavor, but life has taken people in different directions. Life is
Yeah.
life,
life is
and
life.
so but if you come back, especially at that time, if you came back, we really wanted you to commit
Right.
because um, things were happening so fast for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had no idea it was going to be that fast, which was the blessing.
Right.
That was the blessing. We had no idea. There's not enough time in the day to tell it all, but I do want to say this. We realized later on that John Woodhouse was just starting out when we were starting out. We all started at the same time.
Mm.
We didn't know it. He gave his party first. He gave his party in February, or January or February. And we went. That was one of the events. Teresa said, let's go to this event because she, had her history with what was going on with that. We go to his event. And while we are there, let's back up. Linda Schuler. Now, if you don't know Linda Schuler, you need to know Linda Schuler. She is legend in this.
Right.
Legend in this. And by the time we got in, she was already legend in this. She is an amazing anything dealing with line dancing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that night that we were creating that dance on the parking lot, she asked us would we be willing to teach at her event.
Mm.
We were just blown away.
Wow.
And so her event was going to be in February. Okay. We go to John's event in no, her event was going to be in April. I'm sorry, in April.
Yeah, I'll say April.
We go to John's event in February, just going to attend it. And while we were there, and to this day, I don't know what happened if somebody dropped out and John just, needed to fill the teaching space. We never even talked about that.
Mm.
But he came up to me and said, hey, I heard you have a dance.
Mm.
And I said, I do. And he said, you want to teach it? I said, yeah, And I went to Flavor and said, hey, we're getting ready to teach this dance. And I remember James almost passed. He said, look, we're not ready. We don't know, because they didn't know. We were still learning each other.
Right.
They didn't know me. They didn't know, I didn't know that. And I just said, you got to trust me on this one, because I knew we shouldn't give this up.
Right.
And I knew I could do it, and I was ready, and let's go. Like, this is happening. Let's go.
Right.
And we taught one of our first dances there. So John's event gave us the first opportunity, but Linda Schuler actually offered it to us. It just wound up happening, 2 months later. And it was because the Thomas twins saw our dance on YouTube and loved it.
Oh,
and
wow.
told John, they have a dance, you need to ask them to teach.
Wow.
So you're talking about some very, very important people to this urban line dance thing, who just really put us on. And then after that, Detroit just took us in and opened their arms. OMG.
That's beautiful.
They really did. It was, and we always say, we don't forget.
Right.
Things are moving differently and everything's happening differently now. So, but we don't forget.
Right.
And I'm talking all of them. They all, whether they were creators, just dancers, Deb going to her house, headquarters, like they opened their arms to us, and we're just really thankful for that. That's a big one. All of them.
So let's pivot real quick. All right. So what we need to talk about is what do we have to do? All right, before we even get into the mic check, hello, testing. Y'all event is bananas. And before I continue, because I got Miss Candace, I think she tied there.
I was texting her saying, "Get on now."
Thank you all here. Let me see if I can
Okay.
pull in. Hey, Candace, how you
Hey,
doing?
all
Girl, we
right,
were
how are
talking
you?
about you.
Good.
Girl, talking about you, the original. So, and I'm gonna let y'all get a chance, but like y'all event is one of the biggest events, the craziest, the livest. It's like uncomparable to any event. It's in its own lane, and that's just what it is. Because we've traveled to many different events, but
Right.
there's no duplicating of y'all event. You know what I mean? And I already know what you're gonna say, Chris, because you always said it's not us, it's the people, it's the people, it's the
It's the
people.
people.
And there is truth. There's some truth to all of that. So I don't want to, denounce it. But, as hosts, y'all create the atmosphere, the environment.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
I guess the question is first of all, how did the event even get to the space that it is? One, and two, Teresa, you probably can explain, like for individuals who are looking to not do exactly what y'all done, but to have a successful event to the level or somewhat close to the level of what you guys got. What suggestions or advice would you provide to, because we got people who are trying to host events now, but there's nobody giving them the secret sauce or the recipe or whatever the case. So, you know, what do how do you help them, or tips that you can provide to them to create the proper experience that they desire, where people want to come back and enjoy it and everything else? What do we got here?
I will first say that every event is unique, and every event has their, niche of what it takes for them. Flava has had the opportunity to travel to so many events, so that when you look at all the different events, we know we wanted something that was different.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I can say is I have to start with Chris in the sense of she creates dances for the people. And so she says, I create dances that feel good. And we kind of kept that theme of when people spend their money to come to us, we're so thankful because we knew how expensive it was to
Mm-hmm.
travel. We knew. And then I would tell our team, St. Louis Airport is not a cheap airport.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would, huddle with them and say, hey, we got to do our best to show appreciation and gratitude that they showed up for us.
Mm-hmm.
And little did I know that this group would do it in the way that we do it. And it's natural, it's not forced. It's not like I'm not saying, hey, y'all go talk to them. It's none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is doing it because we all understand how important it is to feel welcomed by a host. We all know that. And because of that, you know, we want you to have a good time in our city. And whatever that looks like for you, you can do it here. And that's what it is. We allow it to happen. The structure is quote unquote not really structured. But I will say what is structured, you cannot put your t shirt on the wall.
Right.
I got you. Hey, Candace, and what would you say your take is, just from y'all events and everything? Like, how do you feel? What made you feel to get to the magnitude that it is right now, based off your take?
Oh, Teresa really talks really well about it, and it's for the people. Like we do this for the people, and just to see people's faces and they want to come and they're excited and like all of that, it makes us excited. It makes us want to do more for everybody, and it makes them feel great. It makes us feel great, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It just makes me feel good as a human being to know that. people come from all over the world. Because we had some people come from on the other side of the water
Yes,
just
Mhm.
to
we
come and see us. And
Mhm.
that's just, no words can explain
I
how that
agree.
make us feel.
I agree. And that's one thing we can say we appreciate too, because y'all definitely show y'all gratitude, and it's genuine. It's obviously genuine. Um, but so this is my take. I'm an observer. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I watch everything. And one of the things, if I have to say that I noticed that y'all do a lot, is that y'all support everyone. You know what I mean? It be at events, y'all ain't even teaching. Y'all just there at the same time. Even if you had an event that weekend, y'all at another event the following weekend. You know what I mean? Supporting. And what I think people miss is that that means a lot. People value and appreciate that. You know what I mean? Y'all did very well in not only establishing relationships, but even developing upon those relationships throughout time. You know what I mean? Y'all stay consistent as individuals. Um, where the point, and then there's everything about you as individuals. It's likable. It's attractive. People want to be a part of. Be around you guys.
thank
Y'all
you.
all have different
Mhm.
characteristics that draw people to each other. It's one thing you'll have Chris, she's in everything and doing her thing, and then right around the corner, Teresa rolling on the floor somewhere. So
All right.
you know what I mean? Candace in the
Not
back
me.
just watching it
I'm
too, and
an
Jeremy doing,
OMG girl.
and Jeremy got a mic singing, doing splits and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
A mess. A
but
mess.
but it's a beautiful recipe that I see um, that y'all actually do, because I feel like y'all do things to create what y'all have right now, but because it's natural, it's not a thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, because y'all done a lot of great things to establish yourselves, and then even from the acknowledgement that y'all have on the wall, like I said, the shirts and all that stuff, and then y'all have like, what did the breakdown where we were going to have a moment where we just going to start recognizing the states and the cities and all that stuff? Where did that come from? And then the karaoke time, where did that come from? And lap dances. Y'all still doing lap dances? Cause I sure
Oh,
I was like, yo, this is crazy.
the lap dance is starting from the back end of that. That was a birthday celebrations
Oh,
thing.
okay.
And we had to kind of pull it out because it just got too long. It just got
Yeah.
too long. We
Okay.
want to be there for dancing, but that piece. So let me say this: back, in the day, um, I've been watching uh, Stefan and Quan and Carlos, and I think it was last week they talked a lot about things that happened, like back in the day and what we used to do. And I'm sitting there going, yep, we sure did. And it was like that. And the feeling was like that and all that kind of thing. And one of the things that a lot of the parties used to do was acknowledge the people who were there.
Mm,
Um, the event in Detroit, the March Madness, and all those events were cold and they always acknowledged the people who were there. And over the years, a lot of events have gotten away from that. But they would literally stop the party, no music or anything, and just call out the groups who were
wow.
there. And I never forget the first time they called us, and everybody in the room went, Flavor. And we looked around like they know us for real. It was just like, oh my God, wow, this is humbling, it's great. But
Right,
that
right.
feeling right there was
Mm,
what you want to feel when you go to places. Not that people have to, make you feel a certain way, but you want to feel like we're all in this together. We're here. Yay,
mm,
we are all
yeah.
here. That kind of
Mm,
thing.
mm,
And so we just kind of decided we weren't going to stop that. We
mm,
were going to keep it going.
mm.
That's how you got the
Who you with?
who you went and recognizing the people. Well, that's how you got the recognizing the people.
Okay.
So the way it plays out really is because the people in our group don't like to showcase. Now
Mm.
that's a thing about Flavor as a group.
Mm-hmm.
We're not necessarily showcasing people. Doesn't mean that if your group showcases, that's wrong. We just, as the six of us, don't showcase.
Right.
And so the event, that who you with part, you are the performance. Our people who come, you're the showcase. You
Mm.
are the showcase. So all the yelling and screaming out who you know, where you from, and
Mm-hmm.
just being yourself, having a chance to just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
that that's how that came about.
Okay.
It was a way to acknowledge them, and then we started thinking about. So at first we used to call out all the groups. Then there got to be too
Really?
many groups, and people were getting left out, and we didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we went from that to calling out the states.
Mm-hmm.
So now we call out the states, and then we went from that to calling out the regions. Just a fun way to kind of have a good time, and we call out the regions.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess a couple of years later, we decided to do this karaoke thing because we know we like to sing, and just and it just kind of happened that way. And then my mom said, "I'll make us some microphones," and she has been making microphones since. Her and my
Yeah.
cousins been making microphones
I
since.
see.
So
Can I ask
that's
you, Marty, you made me want to go back to your question about a recipe because
yeah,
of what you're saying. I think when you are planning events, everyone has their own roles.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started this call, I told you I never attend the party. And I say that because Chris and Jeremy go through that music stuff on their own, and we don't know. The rest of us don't know. So we're experiencing it like you. What
Mm-hmm.
Candace does for this event is all of our shirts, all of our things. She organizes all of that. I have no idea what she's doing. That's her thing.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I am the person of the logistics of all the business piece of it. They don't know my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't step over each other's toes unless we need help.
Right.
And so I can go weeks without telling them anything, and they can go weeks without telling me what they doing. And
Mm-hmm.
we don't overstep each other's boundaries.
Right.
And then we get together and we just ask, where are we on these things?
Mm-hmm.
And so I love that about our team because each person has their strengths. We trust them with their strengths. And there's no, I mean, now the week of the event, we all like, ah! Throughout it, it's all good. And I think that's what is the beauty of a trust factor is to me the recipe because you have to trust
Mm-hmm.
that Chris knows that music stuff so well.
Mm-hmm.
They have the trust that I'm going to cook and I'm going to do this. And Ken is going to do the shirts and the logistics for all getting the food and everything where it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeremy, he's going to do all of the liqueur.
Mm-hmm.
We don't deal with none of that mess because he's
Mm-hmm.
out of town. So everybody, like I said, is doing their own pieces. And
Right.
even in the moment, when the food is over, I can finally go to a party.
Right. Right.
like
So.
we have this thing where we say, like, there's certain parts. It all happens in the party on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain parts, starting from our workshop that day to the party that night. You can you can tell, really, especially by Teresa's reaction, when her part of this whole planning event is over.
Yeah.
You can tell because then she does not attend the party anymore. Like, she's not there. But
Really.
then you can also tell when it kicks in with me
Okay.
because I do all the workshop stuff.
Right.
I'm in charge of the instructors. I'm in charge of anything dealing with that, all that who you with stuff. And then I have to make sure Jeremy is just right and is ready to do it. And because he'll tell me, not yet. Now, I have to make sure. And then even when I'm on the stage, I stand in a certain spot so I can make sure I'm connected to him. It's and when that's over,
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. You know,
Yeah.
everybody has their own people. We will help each other,
Right.
but you can't step. Even like Yemisi, Yemisi has not been active as an active flavor member with the group for a couple
Mhm.
of years. Yemisi leveled up and became a principal, got her doctorate, and this girl is doing things, But when
Right.
when it's time for that party, she's there and she's
That's what's up.
working, and
That's
that's how we do.
that's
So
what's up. So, first, let me go ahead and acknowledge Jeremy. He was like, "Man, I wish I was there. I love my favorite people. I'm at work, and everything." So
that's
he
my
wanted me to let
brother.
y'all know that definitely.
That's my
He's
brother.
tuned in, and then also I want to give a shout out to the content alchemist as well. Once For those who are on here, we thank y'all for even joining in, and definitely subscribe, follow, and if you like to support donation wise, you can do that too, because that's helped support what we're doing as far as the community. Because we truly believe that the community has a voice, and we creating a platform for them at the same time. If anything, so two things I want to say, and I don't want to forget it for you guys. The first thing was y'all. How do y'all making an effort to find time to enjoy yourself? I know it's a silly question because I know how y'all get down, but making it a time to find time to enjoy y'all party, what y'all created, and everything else. And the second question, so I don't forget, is if I recall correctly, during the shutdown, it almost got to a point that you guys were about to eventually, like, not sure exactly what was going to be with flavor, or I might be wrong, but it was just like, what are we doing? What's going to happen? Because I remember I used to ask y'all a few questions, and it was still not much of a clear answer of what's next with flavor and everything. So um, that would be my second question, just so I don't forget. So whichever one you want to answer first, it's up to you.
Well, I will say this: not we've never talked about not being flavor.
Okay.
That's never come up.
Okay.
Never. um when things start happening in your life, some of us may have to pull out some, or
Hmm.
not do as much, or things like that, like just simple things. Your kids grow up,
Okay.
and then they get to the point where they got to do football practices, and guess who's got to take them,
Right.
that kind of stuff. And it's going to fall on the night you're supposed to be teaching or at an event. That's when the game is. Those kind of things that happen when COVID was happening. We were just going through the basic stuff everybody else was going through. What are we going to do? Like,
Got
as a dance community, what are we going to do? What does dancing look like if and when this was over? Because we were all in a point of if this was ever going to change. So
right. Yeah.
we never said we would not be flavor. Now, and that's really the honest to goodness truth. That's what it was. We were ready. We were ready
Hmm.
to get back to it.
Right. Right.
um, and as far as enjoying our party, um, again, the enjoyment comes with seeing the people. Here, let me say this about us, because people are so sweet. They will say, "We want to help. We want to help you guys. We want to help," because there really are only six of us.
Hmm.
And at this point, most of us eat, like right now, it's still very in the moment. We're out of town.
Mm.
So right now, I'm in St. Louis,
Hmm.
and most of us, my sisters, they left me.
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't matter. We talk every day, and like it. We have to remind ourselves sometimes, girl, you're 500 miles.
Right. Right. Right.
Jeremy lives in Vegas,
Yeah.
and Dee Dee is in Florida.
Right. Right.
And so we're all over, but we are still flavor, and we still move that way. And
That's
that party
beautiful.
went on last month, and all of us were gone
That's beautiful.
because we're still flavor, and we will still travel when it's time together. We'll meet there. That's how it's gonna be. It's not gonna be we're gonna start a group in each city. We are still our
Like
nucleus.
that's beautiful to see
So,
because usually when stuff like that happen, the group get questioned and what's going to happen to the group. Is it going to dismantle? And the fact that y'all still hold on to the connection and still create the amazing experience y'all have done. Because I'm sure that y'all been gone separated for a while now. Y'all ain't like y'all, it was like this last year. It was been some time y'all been separated, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
um, so I think I'm glad you shared that because oftentimes I'm gonna speak for myself. I deal with abandonment. So when you leave, you
Yeah.
you left my life completely. You could have
Yeah.
moved, and I'd have been like, "Oh, well, you out of my life,"
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And you still be in the state. But the point is,
Yeah.
so I'm glad you share that because I usually take that pretty hard when people separate and stuff like that. But just for you sharing the fact that y'all still remain connected and still be able to create something that gives hope in a sense to
Yeah.
know that y'all still can make something even no matter how far y'all are from each other at the same time. So I think that's beautiful if anything. So what is the where we going with all of this? What's the vision for this now? I know we already mastered the fact of getting out here, connecting with the community worldwide and everything else. Um, and then and even in that vision, like where are we going? What's the objective?
Right now, we're just rolling the way we've been rolling. You know what I mean? Like there's, and let me just say this because only God knows what's in anybody's future, right? We don't know. So, and that's not to say anything is happening. We're just doing what, like, in other words, 2026. I hope people come to Flavor's party because we're
Mhm.
having it. You know what I
Right,
mean? And we're
right,
just we're moving on just like we've been doing. But that's the plan.
right.
Um, if something changes, we're not aware of it yet.
Was there a question? Was there a question that there was going to be? I heard it was a rumor. I'm not sure if it
Yeah.
was a rumor, but was it a question that 2026 was going to happen?
Well,
Yeah,
we heard it. You want to talk about it, Teresa? Or
I do. I will say that if you were at an event in January of last year and you talked to me because I was trying to figure out my next moves because my father had just passed.
Sorry to hear that.
And I was trying to figure out what was going on. I was a mental wreck. I know I talked to people at that event that said, I have no idea what's going on. It was like that. And people noticed I was down. People noticed I was a little off. And that's because I was trying to figure out. And so people were asking, are y'all going to do a party? Because also, because of all this, things that are normal routine, our registration didn't open like it was supposed to, all the stuff that was happening. So people were like, whoa, Flavor's moving differently. And that was because of life. You
Right.
know, um, I had to make a life decision in the midst of all the preparation that it takes for our event. And so the team, like the team, was like, Teresa, take your time. And when I got the pass from the team to take my time, I did.
That's good.
And so there was like no talk about Flavor Party. And that's when rumors start going. And so people start saying things like, you know, I hear Teresa's moving. I hear Candace is moving. They not gonna have a party. I mean, the rumor got big.
Mm.
And it got big because you have our regulars who purchase flights before they purchase a flight ticket.
Wow.
There are so many people that I know who will not even have registrations to our event and they purchase a flight.
Mm.
Mhm.
And they do that because they know the tickets are going on sale in January for
Right.
those that are forever VIP.
Mm-hmm.
And so that didn't happen. And people
Gotcha.
were like, what's going on? And I wasn't ready to expose that my dad had died. I wasn't ready to expose that I'm, thinking about moving. I wasn't ready.
Mm-hmm. That makes
That's
sense.
when life takes over. Line
That makes
dance,
sense.
huh?
And I'm glad you shared that. I mean, I didn't. I saw it, but you know, it wasn't necessary. I honestly I didn't really take it too seriously, but I'm glad you gave context to it at the same time, so people have a better understanding, because a lot of people probably did wonder and not know. So I'm glad you shared that. Um, so let's touch on this, and we talked about it, Chris. Um, right now, y'all are at a space where it's capacity level,
Whew.
and we only can get so many people here. However, the people still bamming on the door trying to get in. They can't get in, and it's not like a few people bamming on the door. There's a lot of people, hundreds of people, bamming on the door to get in, and they can't get in because we are at a capacity level. So, and I remember you talk. I remember, and you correct me if anything's changed since the last time we spoke. But it was like a catch-22 where you were either you couldn't find too many spaces that can be comparable to what you had and keep it at the cost that you wanted to keep it at, or you got a bigger space but you had to increase the price of your ticket sales and everything else. Is that still the issue?
Let me say this. I'm gonna speak for this group because that's my lane.
That's her lane.
Okay.
And people know me. There are some people on this chat that know me, that know. I try my hardest to see who's coming before tickets go on sale.
Okay.
And I try to get a rough estimate of what we can possibly have for the overage.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that.
Okay.
So there are people that will attend and know that they have what we call standing room only.
Okay.
They know that. Oh, thanks, Lakeisha. I'm sorry, I saw chat. And so the event place is, to be honest, this is Chris's formula of I don't want to change because people want to get in that building.
Mm-hmm.
And if we go to quote unquote a hotel space where we would have, the ability to have the larger groups, it won't be the same feel.
Got you.
And so our capacity is 300.
Right.
You tell me if it's 300 in that room. It's more than just
Right.
a hair, just a hair, not much.
Right.
And so the Machinist Hall, was where we have our event, has graciously said they will let us open the wall for 2026.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. So how many we get in there now? How many? 325?
Right.
I will say we're opening the wall. The numbers are still on hold because the dance floor is what we want.
Right.
So I will say our wait list has, for the past 2 years, has been at least 200 on there.
Okay.
And so we're hoping to open it to at least 4-ish, 420-ish, something like that.
Right. Right. Just know, y'all was gonna get jacked up on many occasions. It was like, I don't know what type of games you guys are playing. I don't know what type of games, but there's no reason your system should go failure after a few minutes of opening. There's no reason people should have that problem.
I didn't believe it. I was out shopping because every year the system goes on its own. And so I was out shopping and everything, and I was getting a few phone calls, and I was like, the system got to be down. Just give me a minute, I'll go home. And then Chris calls me, and she's like, I think something's wrong with the site. I'm like, girl, ain't nothing wrong with that site. I'm going to get home in a minute, And then I started getting calls, and somebody said I put my credit card in, and it said sold out. And I'm like, it can't be. It can't be.
Right.
Yep.
I get home.
Because I was live, and you went. She and I both went live, and then we started getting these messages, and I'm trying to be on live halfway, knowing what I'm doing, and texting her, going, You're saying something's wrong with things. Something's wrong with the
And I thought something was really wrong. And
yeah.
Those tickets. Now we have VIP. It's 50, so 250 tickets sold out in, from what I'm hearing, 10 minutes. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't believe that in my words. I can't
Mm-hmm.
believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like the system was down. Like, there's no way.
Right.
200 people got on at one time.
No,
No.
they no, it did. It did.
I
So you know that.
still,
Just
something
letting you
was
know.
messed up.
It did. And also, and if y'all don't know, haha, I got y'all. The reason why I brought y'all on here so I can get my wife and I on the VIP list too. At the same time. I didn't realize that was part of that was part of hey,
There it is.
that's what it is. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was amazing. And honestly, I'm not surprised. Because we know what y'all created, and then even in the fact that, but I think it's a blessing that y'all getting a little bit more opportunity and more for the actual venue space, because at the time when Chris and I spoke, I couldn't understand the logic behind it, because it was like y'all ain't got no space. Get more space, you're gonna get more people. You ain't got to worry about the price because people gonna pay because they want to be out there to support. That's my thought. 1 + 1 is 2. But it was something she was trying to say to me that I couldn't capture as much, but just savoring. For instance, I'm gonna give an example. Um, just move, just move. They had their events, right? Just move to. Sorry, just move to. They had their events. Everybody know just move to events for the club scene. Anytime you seen a just move to event, they at the club. That was the place, and that's just what it was. So me, I'm like, I got experience just move. I mean, I got that on the list of experience and this, that, and the other. So I go to experience just move event. We ain't at the club. We at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this ain't it. Like this don't feel like what I always imagined and desire to experience. You know what I mean? Honestly, I felt like I didn't experience a just move event properly. You know what I'm saying? Now, unfortunately, the following year they brought it back to the club because there was some issues with the club manager and everything else. It wasn't that they decided, it was just something going on with the club manager and all that. And when they had it, I was like, now I feel the just move event.
Oh yeah, I love that event. That's one of my favorite events. I love
Yes,
that event.
a hole in the wall and a hole on the street too. You better watch out. You run into that.
Yes,
That's right.
I love that event. Yes.
Right? And it's so intimate at the end of the day too. But I can see why, if people who are new and introduced to STL and following you guys at the same time, having experience at STL, why being at that location, being at that place is only necessary. Because if y'all bring it in a hotel, you ain't lying. Y'all gonna lose a lot of energy that y'all created. The essence. Now the people still gonna bring what they can, but y'all gonna know what really feel right and don't feel right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I thank God that it works itself out for you guys at the same time on that part, if anything, because that's where that's where it's at. Y'all created something there that's so special, and it's just like, in order to truly feel STL Flava, you got to be there.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and thanks for confirming that, because I know, Chris and I went back and forth over that, and I'm like,
I was just gonna say that.
I feel like people want to stay at the hotel. I feel like people don't want to rent a car. I mean, in my mind, I'm trying to eliminate expenses.
Right.
And so, I want as many people to attend as possible, because then once they're there, they can just stay there. Right. And then, I did ask an amazing person who does a lot of traveling, and I asked her true advice and her feedback was very similar to what Chris was saying, is that, you know, no matter what, people want to be in that building and they're going to come.
Mm-hmm.
And so I finally said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we could have like 500 people if we was at the hotel. We could have like 600 people if we was at the hotel. I don't even know. But as many. Yeah. But unfortunately, the Machinist Hall, I mean, we will be able to extend it, but not to what other events have, like the 500 and all that. We can't do that.
No, that makes sense.
We will be able to extend it a little more, but again, I hope I can't get the 200 people off of the list, but I can get about 100 something people off.
I got you. And I'm gonna say this, and I feel where you're coming from, Teresa, because you know you're cheap and everything else. I get where you're coming from at the same time. And I used to be concerned about, you know, distance and having the people, because you know we keep it 100. Going to a place that's extremely cold, we rather do everything in the hotel. We ain't trying to go out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or any event. Like, you ever wake up on a Saturday like, oh, thank God the event is downstairs. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you completely. But I also I've been to other events where Rondi's hotel is 20 minutes from the actual location. 20 minutes. And people pull up to Rondi's event like it's in a hotel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Buses and all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, if people can travel, and so that goes to tell you that, yeah, they don't want to travel, they would like it's convenience, but it depends on who the event is, or who the people are, how they feel about them. They're like, oh, that's nothing. We'll make it work. You know what I mean? As long as we get
and that is a true blessing, and that's why I know our team, we're thankful. Sometimes this is just, it's a humbling response that I feel that we have, because again, you couldn't have told us this was going on this long.
Right.
Like, I don't think we could have set a goal and said, you know, we're going to do this to 15 years. I don't think we could have said that. Our people is what keep us going. It's the people. They still want it, so, you know, I guess we keep going.
Yeah, I find it fascinating also how y'all pretty much just sustained yourselves, because like you said earlier, it's like, it's not that we envision that we're going to be doing this for 15 years. And then Chris on many occasions was saying, like, basically we just go on with the flow, how everything lead, we just keep it moving. And for me, I'm like, that don't make no sense. Like, y'all ain't had no plan. What y'all trying to do? How y'all gonna get where y'all gonna get at? Where we gonna end up at? You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm constantly thinking every day. But I feel like things have became revealed to y'all in time, and y'all executed, and y'all shared, and basically let people know, okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna move, and y'all remain patient through that process, which is fascinating too. And how y'all maneuver. So I think that's beautiful as well. Like, y'all, you know, me, I'm stressing out. Y'all like, it's cool. We're gonna just go with it, and then we're gonna
let me say this though, and I'm going to tell a little bit on Teresa. Teresa is you.
Okay.
That's the planner.
Okay.
That's the planner. That's the you know, I call it a spreadsheet girl. If it's on the spreadsheet, we got it. That spreadsheet is gone. She's going to lose it. You know, like, what is going on? But she is. But then again, that's why that's her lane. That's what she does for us, and we, thank God, have sense enough to know that's not what we do. We support her.
Okay.
So he is the planner, but we have talked to her and made her understand, if it's not planned all the time, it's okay. Because that's not how this line dance thing really works, especially nowadays. Well, you know, it's just a little different. So we're just going to keep doing, like, listen to the people. We've always done that. So let's just listen to them.
Right.
And what the people are telling us is, do it the way we've been doing it. Like
Right,
they really are saying, do what you're doing.
right, right. All right.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. And also about the people, if y'all have any questions, definitely you're more than welcome to ask because they are here to answer any questions you may have. Forgive me if you did and I missed it. My apologies. If you run it back, I
How do you
apologize.
see what? Can I type in that chat or no?
Yeah, you can. You can type in there. I think you can. Maybe
I can't say.
you can
It won't
try.
let
Just
me
don't
see
break
that.
nothing.
No,
I
that would
wanted
be
to say
that would
hi
be
to
me.
some people. I was all excited. I don't think people have seen me in this calm form.
No, no. You got so you got a couple people. Nikki, she said, "Take my money now."
She's my VIP. Leave her, girl.
No,
Shut up. Go somewhere.
And then you
no,
got Lakeisha like mine's too.
no, no.
You know
That
what I
Lakeisha
mean?
is.
So
I love her. She.
Aw.
She
yeah,
was one of the
That's
people
the
that
girl.
accepted us early on.
yeah,
She
definitely,
was
man. It's
there.
beautiful. So how do y'all navigate through this wave of boots on the ground wave that's happened this year? How did that affect y'all? In what way? Because y'all don't have classes still. Because I know, if I remember correctly, Chris, you was starting up the classes again, and then you
I
scaled
did.
back. So what's going on?
Well, we started the class, and then you know how it is when you do it in the clubs, and if you are an instructor in a club and you have had a long relationship in a club, you just were blessed there. We have not we've had a long relationship with one club, but I'm just going to tell you, the club, a car hit the club. Somebody, one night hit the club, and they closed the club for a long time because they had to fix the club.
Wow.
It got fixed, and then COVID happened.
Oh.
So after that, we just kind of didn't go back because then lives did start changing. You know,
Right, right,
things
right.
started changing, and then we had um a large surplus of line dance instructors here in St. Louis. Like, a lot of
Yeah,
classes started popping up after that,
yeah.
and that's okay. But everybody doesn't have to teach. That's fine. They're doing it. We'll go visit some of them, and it's okay because our lives started changing.
Right,
Like I
right,
said,
right,
Teresa, before the move and that kind of thing, she's dealing with a teenager now. Her baby was little when we started.
right, right,
Her baby didn't exist when we started.
right.
Here's a true flavor baby. you
Wow.
Yeah.
know. So those kind of things. Candace is the same way. Her babies are her son just graduated from high school, so they were little when all that
Okay.
was going on and navigating through all that. Now she's putting babies in college and stuff.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I see you. I see you. Represent.
Proud mom. So, so we just don't, we're not teaching classes right now. It does not mean we won't.
Right.
It's just when the time is right, we'll do it. I could start teaching a class now because I'm comfortable doing that, but
Mhm.
we're also a group. So,
Okay.
and I want my my family with me. You
I
know what I
feel
mean?
you. How did this wave happen? Cause I see y'all see the trail riders out there getting it, man. What
They
what
are.
what's up? What's up? Are we pulling up? We getting in the bus to pull up at the trail ride events? What we doing? What's y'all think?
I'm going to speak for me because I am in an area where that is highly um, participated. And I have not been able to find a home yet because they do a lot of it. And, when you come up in an era where line dancing was really choreographed in ways to challenge your mind, um, it's harder now. Now the dances are just like you can pick them up because
Right.
we've been doing these dances the way we've been doing them for so long, but
Mhm.
now they're you know I'll use the country girl, whatever it's called, line dance. One of my aunts was like, "Teach me that dance." I'm like, "I have never seen it." I looked at it a couple times and like, "Oh, it's this," but you can't pick up a line dance like that in our community.
No.
And so I say that to say, for me, I like to challenge my mind. It's a lot of fun. I see people having a lot of fun and they're, enjoying the collaboration with each other. I think that's great. I don't want to discount any of that. It's just not something that I am interested in.
That makes sense. That makes sense. How about you, Candace? What's your take?
I think Teresa is about right. I watch it. It come on. It's on everything. Like you can't even get on Facebook without seeing somebody, or you can't get on Instagram or TikTok because that's what everybody is doing.
Right.
I love it. Kudos to y'all, but I can't get out there and do all. I'm like, okay. Now them songs is a little catchy.
They
I
Okay.
are.
will admit they're a little catchy. I
Right.
will find myself singing it, and I'd be like, hmm.
Right. Right.
But nah, they let them do what they do, and when they feel like they want to come on over, they better come on over.
Come ready, huh?
I'm ready.
How you feel, Chris?
I it, it's I feel like they feel in the sense of if it's what you want to do, do it. If it's what you want to do, do it. And I absolutely don't knock it.
Hmm.
I prefer what we do
Right.
in our urban line dance community.
Right.
That for me is a line dance fit
Right.
for me. And I'm saying that, and I have not experienced doing any of that live. When I watch it and when they're doing it like live, there was an event last weekend, and uh, I know Quan was there and Teresa was there. Like a bunch of them were there.
In the
I
rain.
think Carmela I saw was there,
Yeah.
and it looked like they were having a ball because a lot of this is about the energy
Right.
of it, whatever it is for you. And
Right.
if it makes you feel good, then that's where you're supposed to be.
Right. Right.
So this though, what we do as an urban line dance community is what I prefer. What I'm concerned about is I just want everybody to respect whatever lane it is you're gonna be in.
Right. Right.
Because I don't want, just because that's the new thing and it's growing and growing and growing, I hope that we can also stay true to what we do and that doesn't mean that just because you do urban line dancing, you can't do
Can't
this
do it.
trail riding.
Right.
You should be able to do what I'm saying is you should be able to do it all if that's what you want to do.
I agree.
I prefer to stay over here on this side.
Because it's kind of spilling over to us right now.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then too, I don't want to. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to misquote what I heard. But I heard someone say that, and I'm paraphrasing, that we are slowing down. We're getting old, so we're slowing down on our dances, and they're young, so they are live and vibrant, and the energy is live, and is and even and I'm going to add this. I'm adding this myself because of our lack of ability to work a camera. It prevents us for bringing more awareness of our community to another level versus them. They TikTok, Instagram generation, so they know how to capture the proper moment and everything to sell and market what they're doing better than we have.
Mm.
So can I say this? I'm thinking about what you just said, and it's very true. But for us to do what we do, is it necessary?
Mm,
Like, have we ever been an urban line dance community that moved because of social media
mm,
in a nutshell? Like
mm,
that's where it is for them, and it is getting the attention.
mm-hmm,
It's taking over with the attention.
mm-hmm.
But we've never asked people to, like, we've never pushed it like that. We know the people
Right.
who are going to come and who are going to travel and
Mm,
who are going to do those. We do the dances, basically same dances. Every event, we expect to hear it. Like,
mm,
I want to hear Light It Up every time I go somewhere. I want to,
mm,
that if I don't hear it, I'm like, hey, they didn't play Light It Up,
Right.
Like this is what we do. So maybe the goal isn't to have everybody do it because it never was that.
Mm,
Um, and maybe because those dances reach a lot of people because they are easier, that's what it's supposed to be.
right.
I don't know if I'm making
I get what you're saying.
sense,
I get
but
what you're saying.
I'm okay with who we are and what we do and the people who go. And every now and then we get some new people in, and okay, I don't want to hear what we do is there's something wrong with what we do.
Got
That's what I don't want to hear.
you.
And
Got
I'm
you.
not listening to that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because what we do is what we do. And
Right.
anybody who doesn't like it, you can do something else. It's okay.
Facts. I agree with you on that. I like how you said that, and I appreciate you sharing that as well too, because oftentimes, especially with the wave, how it came in and all that, and then when you got people coming in your class and they're pushing it and this, that, and the other,
Mhm,
I like the fact that you said that. Yeah, that's good, that's great, but this is also what we do, and it's something special about that too. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying?
mhm,
So I appreciate you speaking on it, because you don't really hear much from people in the position that y'all are in. You know, I like to call y'all people of influence because heavy hitter sounds terrible nowadays. It got a negative connotation. So people of influence, um, yeah, trust. It's a trigger word for but we like to hear more from you, from that aspect, because it is a lot going on. It's a lot of noise going on at the same time. And don't get me wrong. I enjoy it. I enjoy the vibe. I love the energy that they
mhm.
created. I love the youth that we finally got the youth dancing again, because that
And
generation.
anything that keeps any of them in a good headspace,
Yes, yes,
great with me. You
yes,
know.
definitely, definitely. And um, I mean, I've heard some people say the data next generation, and I'm like, maybe, maybe depends.
Mhm,
Um, but I did wonder for a moment that are we slowing down on our dances? You know what I mean? Like, are we? I think I heard. I think I've heard, and as a matter of fact, I ain't gonna even say name because I don't want to misquote the person. But I thought I heard a DJ say that now that's what it is. It's the slow music. Not many, we're getting older, so we not with the jumping and everything else and spinning and splitting and all that stuff. We got to slow it down for ourselves now. And then people start creating dances, and not saying you guys, but because I know what y'all do. But people start creating dances, and they starting to be slower, slower. You know what I mean? To the point where it's like, where is the throwback dances, the Jerome Bentley back in the day dances? You know what I mean? The high energy dances that I used to see that are like freaking classic to this day. You know what I mean? Where are those dances at? And it's
mm,
like those dances are the classics. We're gonna play those again. But when it comes to creating, you don't get too many. You know what I
mhm.
mean? Or you may not get too many dancing to it. I mean, that might be that's just my perspective on it. But I'm just curious. Like, what's y'all take on that?
Well, everybody's gonna, get older.
Yeah.
Even your trail riders, they're
Yes.
gonna get older.
Yes.
And then the trail riding dances might slow down a little bit too. So, and then you have some that they won't. They'll keep going. They
Mhm.
just have that kind of energy like that, and they're gonna keep going. But for me, and maybe this is a dancer's heart, a dancer's mind. Just because it's slow doesn't mean it doesn't have energy.
I love it.
And so, and that is proven when you play certain dances and the floor packs up every single time. And it could be slow as it wants to be, and it will fill up the floor. Can't find a
Yeah,
spot.
I agree.
So, but I hear what you're saying about, just the faster dances and like the classics and that kind of thing. And there's a place for classics. That's why they're classics.
Hmm.
And then someone, like a lot of people say, the floor dictates
Yes.
the like, let the floor
Yes.
speak.
Yes.
So it's not necessarily that faster dances are not being created,
Mm,
but are they catching on in our community?
good point.
Maybe, maybe not. It just depends on when it is, what time it is, where it's from, who, all those factors. So
Mm,
I don't know, but you, just because it's not fast doesn't mean it's not energetic.
I agree.
It
That's
it
right.
it it takes on a certain, dances have personalities.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel about it. Dancers have, one of the things that I loved about, this is just about our group. One of the things I loved about the fact that our name wound up being STL Flavor is because we didn't want, the vision for us as a creator of dances of this group, I didn't want us to be pigeonholed into
Mm,
one kind of dance.
mm,
Now we cut up and act crazy and all kinds of stuff, especially when we're in, especially back in the days when we were in the room and we would just be hollering and screaming and acting nuts. And
mm,
so our dances reflected that. It's
right.
still who we are. I always
Mm,
tell people, STL Shake That.
mm-hmm.
That was a moment when a lot of us were having issues in our personal lives,
Mm-hmm.
just going through stuff, trying to figure out kids and spouses and all kinds of stuff. And we would talk because we were becoming friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I could just hear us going, man, this is crazy, about our lives. This is crazy. And we had class one day, and when class was over, I just put the song on and got on the stage and started doing it. The
Mm-hmm.
dance that I created. And I created that for Flavor to feel better. And the response I got from them after class was exactly what I was hoping it would do. It would just make everybody happy because we
Mm,
were really, I don't know what was going on
right.
that period of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying that because that kind of dance that's who we are. That's like who we are as a group. But then there are also times when we are battlefield.
Mm,
We're that. And then there are other times when we're like, and we text message,
right. Right.
we're that,
Right.
and then there are times when it's just me that I want to do something and I pull Jeremy in, let's go. God put me and Jeremy together. I'll tell anybody that. Put
Mm.
us together. Plan is lined up for us because of how we work well together, we understand each other. And Jeremy and I are not close in age. And we understand each other so well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had the idea for muscles, and he rode with me on that. That was me wanting to do something I hadn't done, but that was, I had to clear it with our hardest sell of a dance is these ladies right here, like Flavor.
Mm,
I got to sell it to them before I sell it to y'all,
I love it.
and
I love it.
so if they ride with it, and Teresa will call me and say, girl,
I
I'm
love
learning now. Put out a video, Candace and I work together. She'll come in the room and I'll know if they really like it because Candace will say, teach it to me right now.
it.
So it just depends on what flavor we have
Yeah,
in our group at the time. And then we decide, okay,
I love it.
let's do it.
Yeah. I definitely
So
want to say this, man, because I don't want to keep y'all any longer, man. I thank you for sharing, giving us an insight of the dynamic of flavor and how everyone operates, how everyone plays a role. I thank y'all for showing us that y'all pretty much dance to your own beat. Y'all not distracted about what's going on the outside. You applaud those that's going on and doing what they're doing at the same time, but y'all flavor at the end of the day, and there's a difference. You know what I mean? But y'all do it in a way where it's not disrespectful, it's not arrogant, it's not boastful or anything like that. I mean, y'all, the way y'all walk through the crowd like small people who are not known in a sense. The way y'all move, and then you and y'all kind of react to the love like it's the first time experiencing it again. You know what I mean? It's amazing to see. After a while, you would think that a person, as much praise that y'all receive on so many occasions, you would think that y'all be like, "I, yeah, I heard I," understand? But nah, it's just like y'all get extra emotional and stuff.
yeah, you know why? Because at any moment, people can turn and say, we don't want to see them ever again.
That's
Yeah.
facts.
I always say that. This is a blessing. If this is what we're going to be doing,
Hmm.
this is a blessing. And to still be in this and people still want to know your dances and that kind of thing,
Hmm.
attend your parties, that's a blessing because
Agree.
we have seen people come and go,
Yes.
Hmm.
and it could happen to any one of us. So we don't take it lightly. We really do appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we feel it. We feel the appreciation and everything else, and that's why no matter what, we continue to support. I think I spoke with my wife early on before y'all came on, is that when we came into this, you know, we learning dances, but we was always trying to keep an eye out of who we kind of identified with the most, like that kind of spoke the same language. And y'all was on some stuff. We're like, man, back to back to back. You know what I mean? I'm telling
I
you, it was like,
remember meeting you in California.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, man. And it was between y'all and All Snap.
No, little
Y'all,
sister.
it was something about those groups that was just y'all was speaking our language. You know what I mean? And we appreciate y'all doing what y'all have done and gotten to the space that y'all are, because it gave us a roadmap in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And so you'll be surprised how much, if we had to say it, y'all influenced us as well.
Oh wow.
In
That, that,
everything.
that's,
For real.
that's
Like for real. Yeah, don't
Wow.
get it twisted. We ain't gonna lie. Y'all definitely had influence on us, man, because it was like, oh,
I
you know.
remember when Chris went to y'all party without me, I was on the phone with her the whole week. I was like, I'll never forget that. And she did not want to miss that event, and she was there. And I'm like, girl, what they doing now? And
yep.
I put the phone down and go dance, and I'm listening to the music. And then you all had the
And I
DJ
kept
with
telling her,
all
you
this
gotta
stuff
come.
in the
You
background.
gotta come. This
Yeah.
I
is
was like, oh my
this.
god.
Hey,
You gotta
man, it was we like I said, taking pages out of y'all book and not trying to duplicate exactly. But one thing we learned was that it's nobody can't duplicate you, and nobody can't do what y'all do because they're not who y'all are. So you have to do it from your lane,
Exactly.
and y'all made it because I remember, for instance, and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all don't usually release the instructors right away because obviously most people make a judgment call on whether they want to be at an event based off the instructors they see and stuff like that. But what it said to me, that's not what it also said to me. It showed me that at the end of the day, people who join your event and attend your event is because of y'all. You know what I mean? And that put things in a better perspective for me because oftentimes hosts are trying to get these elaborate instructors to sell their event. But it's like, no, they came to see you. They
Wow.
came to support you. They love you guys. And yeah, and that's why you sell out before the instructor list ever even come out. You know what I'm saying? Or you have the reaction that you do. And I appreciate y'all giving us that example and giving us understanding on that. So we'll know that hey, you ain't gotta have 30 people on your instructors list. You know
You
what I'm
don't.
saying?
And I want to address that real quick. So this year we did have a lot of instructors,
Hmm.
and we had a lot of instructors because it was our 15th and it was a celebration.
And, and
And
that makes sense. It makes sense
it-
because I
because
mean,
we don't, but
yeah, I mean honestly, at the end of the day, what I say still stand because when did y'all let us know about the instructors?
right, yeah,
You know
it
what I
was late.
mean?
Yeah.
It
It's
was late.
y'all. They bought into y'all, if anything. And now when you do have that many instructors on the list, the tickets are already sold. So it is what it is now. You know what I
And
mean?
it's more of a
Chat is
church
cracking me
thing.
up.
Like, just know we're gonna give it to you. You know,
Yeah.
with this, we're not. You know, that part is to me like a given. There's so many amazing people out here. There's some we've had, for a couple of years. There's some first time,
Mhm.
but did we just kind of try to do a variety of all of that? Try to do some different regions and that kind of stuff. This year we had a lot of California
Mhm.
instructors.
Yeah, I
We
saw.
had quite a few California instructors,
Mhm.
but those California instructors, little did we know they were going to bring their people.
Easy.
And man,
Yeah.
they came hard. So when it was kind of off the subject, but when it was time for who you went, and
Hey,
we called
first
out
of
the great.
all, Chris, do not get California twisted. California, I'm gonna keep it 100. And this is my opinion, but California is the only state that I've seen that are like this. They like this. All of them.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Hey,
Love that about them. The camaraderie
It's
is
crazy.
just amazing. And
yeah.
you know, not to discount anything, because I know in every state there
Yes.
are things that happen that are local
Yeah.
that you know, may give rubs to people and things of that nature. But when events happen, it is nice to see locals attend
Yes.
an event.
Yeah.
I'll say that. And I will say, going to California, was that last year? I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
To see, you know, I lived in the Bay Area of California for years, and to see California people from the Bay to LA, that was freaking amazing to me.
Yes.
And you know, some cities don't have their support, or states, whatever you want to say,
Right.
don't have that local support
Mhm.
as you would wish they
Right.
would have. And so I do wish one day that we can all attend each other's event. I do wish one day that, you know, people realize that what we're bringing to the city, you travel for, and you spend money for a hotel, you spend money for a flight, and we're right here bringing you all of the amazing, you know, instructors, and you can network and you can do all these things right in our own city. We have hundreds of dancers in our own city,
Right.
and that don't participate.
Right. Right.
And I do value that about
agree.
California. I think that is something that they hold near and dear to their hearts. They're very, very prideful. They manage up. They
Yes.
speak greatness about each other
Yes.
all the time.
Yes. Yeah. Especially at the UC, they applaud each other. Everybody wins. With one win, we all win. That's
Yes.
their attitude for real. And I feel you on the whole, you know, local support and everything else. Because that's what you desire, especially when you create something in your own hometown and everything else. And I like the fact that, I mean, y'all throwing events and y'all ain't having classes. It's crazy. Like, usually people gotta have classes to create what y'all creating. Y'all ain't got no class, but y'all got events every year, smashed out, everybody in the building, all that stuff. And I think that speaks to the testament of who y'all are at the same time too. And it's like, you know, y'all get support even out of state, near and far and everything. So, I mean, we thank y'all, man. I mean, honestly, if I had to say, you know, y'all being on here, we just to give thanks also for just what y'all done throughout the time. And then just the fact that y'all continue to be an example for us as well too. My wife telling me, my producer in the back, she's telling me to check the comments just to make sure I don't leave anybody out. Sweet Lou, he said, I love this crew. We still have to create the big X, the plug, let it whip. Is that
I
something?
love, yeah. You already know. Louis.
So let's see what else we got in here.
Oh,
Cynthia
Latanya.
asked
I
me,
didn't even run from Latanya.
yeah, where you got Latanya on here? All right, let me see if I can. Oh, yeah, Flavor. She said what she said is by far the most humble and genuine group in the community.
That is
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cute.
Definitely, I agree with you on that. Uh, there we go. And then we got Sweet Lou again. Teresa's Energy Plus, Candace is Sweetie, Jeremy is the entertainer, and Chris is the whiz.
Look at that.
I
You got
love
that
that.
thing down. Hold on. What did he say Candace was again? Candace, what you was again? Oh, you the Sweetie.
You the
Yeah.
Oh, somewhere, Karen.
Hold on. I gotta get the door a little bit better than Sweetie she talking about.
Look at
She
But
is. She's our silent.
that.
If you could only, before her, she had her, you know, a situation with her legs and stuff and knees. That girl was a killer on that floor. I could get her to twerk every now and then, but
Her name, her dance name, We call her Can Dance.
Can dance.
Can Dance. That's,
Okay.
she has two of them, but that's the one I call her, Can Dance. I
Okay.
usually don't even call her Candace. Even at work, I have to catch myself in front of the kids. I'm hollering down the hall, Candace, I mean, Miss.
Right.
I have to remind people that Candace is a part of this group. She sits back, she watches, she observes. She is a true connector to things, and she'll say, "Teresa, go over there, go talk to them."
Right.
And then I'll get over there, because they know I'm the social butterfly. I'm gonna go talk to people and all that.
She'll take her shoulders, Teresa's shoulders, and They've been looking for you.
And I know that if I'm too drunk, she's gonna get me. She's gonna help me out.
I got my sisters back.
Hey, let's go. And then you got Cynthia. She want to know y'all already opened the registration?
No.
Oh, okay. We talking January, right?
Well, January is for our Flava VIP, and I can explain the forever Flava VIP because a lot of people ask that. And to be honest, our Flava VIP started really when the pandemic happened, and we were looking to refund, people and asking if they, wanted to keep their ticket or what. And the majority of those folks kept their ticket. And then when they kept their ticket the second year, that's when the Forever VIP came about. And so what we do is those 50 folks, sometimes they'll give up their ticket. Maybe they're not coming. So then we can give someone else a ticket. But those 50 folks have first dibs on payment, on, the space and everything. Right. And then after that, they may say, hey, I got people coming with me. We will give them an allowance of one person to attend with them, but they're kind of grandfathered in as VIP, if that makes any sense, because they're coming with someone.
Gotcha.
And, to be honest, the VIPs are those folks who don't mind paying months in advance. And so that's why we're so thankful.
Okay, then I'm glad you clarified who the VIP is. So when the registration opened to become a VIP, like when did that open up? So the VIP people who want to be a VIP, when did that open up? You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you, it never opens.
Dang.
Those that are VIP get their email and get their information and get their hotel room first.
Okay.
And then they'll tell their people. It's like they appoint who the next person is.
Gotcha.
Because let's say if I'm not coming, but somebody in their group is, they'll tell me. And then that's how that other person.
That makes sense.
So when she was explaining it to me, how it works, she said it's kind of like the football. Tell them what you said about the football stuff, because how the whole football tickets, what I'm talking about, Teresa?
Well, not just football, but in general, whenever you are a VIP status, if you remember back in the day when you would pay to get in and have your quote unquote early bird registration, early bird. So that kind of was what VIP was. And you had that status until you gave it up.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, so it's like that Dinner and White event that they got going on, Dinner and Blanc.
Yeah, so if you give it up, then yes, it goes to other people.
That makes sense.
And so once you're VIP, you're always VIP. You can't really take that away.
Okay, I'm glad you cleared that up, because I want to let you know I was about to fact check you for a second. I was like, hold on now, because when the shutdown happened, Dre and I still pulled up. We were like, you want to get good, y'all fam, we gonna pull up and everything. So I'm glad you clarified how you became a forever VIP.
Because all those people, we were like, are you going to give it up for somebody else? They all said no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's
they all said no. It was almost like, wow. And that was a scary time because, people were wanting their money back. And, once you spend money to put your money on the hall and all those things, your funds are kind of just exhausted.
Right.
And once those funds are exhausted, it's very hard. And so I'm so thankful that Flava did not have to deal with many refunds. We did refund people,
right?
But many people chose to attend. So that next year, of course, we really didn't make any money. A lot of that money came out of our pockets.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. But we didn't care.
I got you. Okay, well, check this out.
I know we better get off this call. I know,
Yeah,
right?
I don't want to take any longer, man. I definitely want to say thank y'all again. I mean, it speaks about. I just want the people to know. I called them like Monday, and they was like they was down. You know what I'm saying? So if that don't speak value, then I don't know what does. But we definitely appreciate y'all taking the time to just share a little bit more about who y'all are, what y'all have done, and how y'all continue to affect our community and city as well too. Um, and I mean, and just being who y'all are, and the creations is unbelievable. I love the way y'all sell a dance, and you do it so much in a way where people feel the dance. I don't care what dance it is, y'all make them feel it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful how y'all do that, and getting people involved, even getting Can Dance be on there too sometimes and all that. So that's what's up. But we definitely thank y'all. We
I
appreciate y'all.
tell them whenever we're dancing, because like I was saying earlier, and then we're gonna go. You just never know when the community moves in a different direction and they're not interested in anybody, any group, any of us, right? And I always say to her and Teresa and Jeremy, whenever we do a dance and have to turn to the back, I always say, look at the floor and like take it in. I will say it real fast. Look at the floor, take it in. Because when that floor is filled up, that's your blessing right there. That's your award. That's it right there. And we turn back around. And sometimes it gets overwhelming because it's like, look at they could be sitting down. Like they could really be going to the bathroom while you know, but
Right.
they chose to stay there. So we
Right.
want to thank everybody for just supporting us
Always.
and supporting us, the party, the dances, whatever it is that is STL Flava. Thank you all.
Definitely,
Thank you
definitely.
for giving us a platform to share our story and share our truth.
Yes.
Thank you for inviting us. Appreciate you and your wife
Yes.
allowing us and letting us share our truth in the way you all did it. So thank you.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah. And it's necessary at the end of the day because um I feel and just for everybody know this is going to be saved on the channel as well too, so you can always refer back to it. But I definitely wanted to make sure we create that platform where we have a voice and everybody get a chance to speak and share who they are and how they navigated through what they've navigated through as well too. So I thank y'all for being transparent about everything. Don't want to take much more of your time. Would y'all like to say anything, leave anything with the community?
That's all.
That's the real Teresa, guys, by the way. That's the real Teresa, by the way.
That's right.
Oh, God.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. That's her too.
Thank you.
But other than that, we're
Thank
going to go
you.
ahead and conclude. And we thank everybody for watching, and y'all have an amazing evening. And I'll see y'all soon on the dance floor.
You too. Bye. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Bye. Bye.